atmosphere that holds the in-between. Become a member on our website at elementsstx.com, 53 King Street in downtown Christiansted. Recover on your own terms. Step into Elements.
You're now tuned into 101.3 Row FM, broadcasting exclusively from the Napa Auto and Truck Parts Studio. Can't see at night or blinded by the light? Get new high beams today. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers, commentators, and experts and or hosts. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the views held by the broadcaster. The broadcaster cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program. 101.3 Row FM, WEVI.
She say I'm me, the one that gets you confusing, don't fuck.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You should recognize the voice by now. You should know who it is. We're back, baby. It's Tuesday. It's a new week. We're feeling good. We're feeling bright. We're feeling joyful. This is the 340 Exchange on 101.3 Row FM. You're listening to none other than Mojanaya Mo Dennis. Of course, as usual, as true as such. Who we have with us today?
The one and only, the youngest in charge, Christopher Jacob Jr., a.k.a. Chris.
And the one and only Shamari Haynes.
You forgetting one thing, though. Come on.
Let me cook.
Wait. You know, my bad.
That was the millennial pass?
No, millennial pass.
Intentional millennial pass?
Yeah, it had to be.
They catch your attention, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shamari Haynes, your Board of Elections Democratic candidate for the 2026 general election. We're 77 days away from the general election. Hopefully you are a registered voter. And if you are not, you have the opportunity to head to the elections office tomorrow and get registered to vote. You have until October 4th to do so. And if you are, for whatever reason, an inactive voter, you also have the opportunity to update your status from inactive to active. For your own knowledge, if you are unaware, the general election allows individuals of all parties to vote. So you don't necessarily have to only be a Democrat. You could also be an independent candidate, no party, Green Party, Republican, ICM. You know, once you're registered, you could go out and exercise your right. I am asking for your vote, humbly asking for your vote and support in the general election. The casting of the lots will be taking place next week, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. at the elections office. So next week, Tuesday, before I make it in-house, I'll be at the elections office. So I'll be able to tell you if I am number 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the ballot for the Board of Elections slot. You know, I don't have to take my time with that one because, you know, if you guys were missing in action, Mojanaya and Chris ran for the Board of Education in the primary election, and the Board of Elections and the Board of Education acronym is the same, VIBOE. So I don't want to be out here telling folks, hey, I'm running for the Board of Election, the Board of Education, and folks watching me like I'm crazy. So I'm very intentional in how slow I speak, and you know, in general,
the slowest I
ever
seen you speak.
Generally,
sounding very seductive right now.
No, that's not the thought process. Generally, I speak very fast. So yeah, the energy.
I like the Shamari.
Oh God, here we go. You just know how to just shoot it out of the sky. I'm practicing.
This sound like one of them late night talk shows,
show.
You know,
I'm practicing my radio voice. Because you just don't know where life might lead you. I like radio. But seriously, the energy high, I feeling good. This is your boy Shamari. Everything I said before is true, near and dear to my heart, and I'm asking for your support.
Yes. And you know, we have to add to, I think, you know, the primary really showed me, right? You have a lot of people who are Democratic voters that don't know that they can vote in the primary and the general. So yes, guys, you can vote twice. So much people come out to me and say, wait, so if I vote in the primary, I could vote in the general again?
Well, that's one of the main reasons why my campaign pillars for the board of elections is so important to me, right? So, generational representation, civic engagement, voter education, all of that are things that I stand on. Those are all things that I do on a day-to-day, even outside of my day job at the Department of Tourism, where I currently serve as the Deputy Commissioner. I utilize every opportunity to inform individuals about the importance of engaging civically and educating themselves. So, I'm not me just show up yesterday and tell people, yeah, I run in. I actually in it to win it. I genuinely believe that it's time for us to step up to the plate and be a part of the system. So
Yes.
just applying the pressure to what's next.
He's always cooking, guys. You don't know what he's cooking, but he's always cooking.
Give me that look like
I want to pray, I want to pray, but I gonna be here.
No, let me go. Why not?
I gonna be here. I gonna be here.
You got pride only a little bit. Only a little bit. You might want to be giving me a little too much pressure, and I don't care. Back me up in a corner, and then I don't answer the things I really want to say.
Hey.
Politically correct.
We're gonna ease into it. We're gonna get it.
Good stuff. Thank you very much.
But yes, public, remember October 4th. That is the deadline for voters registration. So if you're not registered, come on, man. It's general election. Anybody could vote. You're not limited to just being a Democratic, like in the Democratic primary. You can be Democratic, you can be independent, you could be no party. Just please exercise your civic duty, exercise your opportunity to elect the representatives that you think are best suited for office, I remember earlier in the year speaking to some very distinguished individuals. I won't put them on blast over the air. But it was just talking about the importance of civic engagement. And one thing that they said that always stuck with me is once upon a time, our ancestors didn't have the opportunity to vote for the representatives that they wanted.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
We were just subjected to whatever someone else said is so. So
the governor
fact
was
that-
appointed by the President of the United States.
Right. So the fact that we have the opportunity now to vote for our governor, vote for our delegate to Congress, vote for our senators, vote for our board members. I mean, that's something that we shouldn't take lightly, especially the younger generation, right? Especially my generation, because if you don't vote now, when is a good time for you to start voting? Like, what's a good age for you to become civically engaged? Like, when you gonna click like, wow, now it's my turn to step up?
Usually, for most people, they click, if they're serious, they usually click in the late 20s. Sometimes the late 30s, sometimes the late 40s. They get people who vote and then in the 50s. But the reality is, if we're considering the trajectory of the territory and, we're serious about development and, we're happening or paying attention to what's happening around us, not just in the local news, right? So politics also affect the way we fight crime and, the way we manage our healthcare system and the power grid. And, politics have a part to play in a lot of stuff. So I wouldn't say it's never too late, but I would encourage folks to get informed and get engaged as early as they can. Every vote matter, and although it may seem or sound very cliche, it's true, right? It's true. So again, I really want to take this time to also shout you guys out for boxing them up in the primary election. I think you guys did an exceptional job, and is important for us to keep moving the energy forward, right? So if you guys are tuning in for the first time, the three of us are running, did run, will be running again, as under the social movement of Forward VI. I don't think that we've spoken much about Forward VI since the primary election, but Forward VI is very much still very existent, and you're going to see a lot more of us as we prepare for the general election, because the show have not stopped. It will not stop. And when you guys see me out don't be afraid to engage with any of us about our political aspirations and why we want to serve. It is something that we are serious about. Public service is a huge undertaking. I talk about it all the time. But I am very much serious, and I'm very much hopeful for the support. A lot of folks have been reaching out, actually, inquiring about how they could join the Forward VI movement, how they could be a part of my political campaign. I welcome all of the support. We need all hands on deck as it relates to pushing the movement of Forward VI, letting folks know that I am running for the Board of Elections. And I just easing up right now because I just really and truly waiting for my lot number. And once I get my lot number, then it's forward up the road. And if you guys know anything about me, I really like a production. So I might go pull a trailer on the road with a tractor head from October 1st. I gotta come around community to community and cast a little ruckus to let the people know that my name is on the ballot. But again, seriously, I serious, and I think that I'm ready. I've served this community for almost 20 years professionally, and even in my own personal endeavors, I've also served this community for the same amount of time. I am a product of the public school system. I am a son of the soil, and I traveled out of the Virgin Islands to further my education. I'm back, I'm invested, I've been back, I've been invested, and I'm not asking for the support of the public for anything that I have not done before or have not been doing. Again, just very much into community, very much into public service, very much into doing my part as a young Virgin Islander who not only want to see the change, but also be a part of it. So stepping up to the plate. There are 3 seats that are open for the Board of Elections in the general election, and there is a total of 4 or 5 of us that are running. I know 2 individuals are seeking re-election to the board, and then there are 1, 2, 3 of us, 4 of us that are seeking a seat. And forgive me if my numbers are wrong. It's been a long day and I'm a bit frazzled brain. And honestly, me ain't even watching what they are wrong. I know I'm going after, so in full transparency, me really counting what they are wrong. Not that I'm counting anybody out. I just
counting yourself in.
Counting myself in and gridlock on a mission, right? So, it's kind of like going down a parade route and simply sophisticated passing through. We don't see no other troop because we don't simply come in. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this race. Me really looking at who seeking a seat. I know that Shamari come in because it's just how I do move. Very confident, but also very humble, and too humble, according to some people in many cases.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there. So stay tuned. Don't touch your dial. Don't touch your phone. We're going to be right back. This is D340 Exchange on 101.3 Row FM. We're going to go pay some bills and we'll be right back.
Building dreams where hope has grown. For our youth and families too. A brighter future starts with you. Vote Gage Edmonds. Let's rise today. Leading our islands the better way. Building together, strong and free. For a brighter Virgin Islands community. Vote Gage Edmonds. Hear the call. Working for the good of all. Better roads, safer streets. Growing farms with food to eat. Healthcare, jobs, opportunity. Together we'll build prosperity.
Paid for by Friends of Gage Edmonds for Senate.
Want the latest phone with a giant screen? The new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 is here, and you can get it on us via bill credits with the Galaxy Watch 9 at T-Mobile. Available for new and existing customers. Get them and enjoy the best streaming bundle included in the experience plans. The latest technology with more screen, more to stream, all supercharged on our 5G network. Switch today in the T-Life app or call us at 1-800-8-662-453.
This August, there's a reason to visit Caravel Casino every day of the week. Sundays, start your day with our $2,500 early bird drawings from noon until 4 p.m. We're giving away $500 every hour, plus free slot play for Rewards Club members. Mondays, if you're 50 or better, enjoy $10 in free slot play. Tuesdays and Saturdays, Reward Club members receive tier-based free slot play bonuses, while Wednesdays and Thursdays keep the excitement going with even more free slot play offers. Then, every Friday night, it's our $2,500 progressive drawings. Join us from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. for 4 chances to win $500 cash with unclaimed prizes rolling into the final drawing of the night. Plus, new members receive $25 in free slot play, and Rewards Club members can celebrate their birthday with special birthday free play. Visit Caravel Casino this August, where every day brings another chance to win.
Hey hon, have you checked out Precision Auto Parts? They have everything you need for your car.
Is that the new auto parts store where CarZone used to be by Five Corners?
Yes, they offer the widest variety of domestic and foreign parts, from oil to batteries, filters to lawnmowers and trimmer accessories. They have it all.
Wow, that's amazing. I heard they had the lowest prices in town too.
Absolutely. Plus, their customer service is top notch. They really know their stuff.
For all your automobile accessory needs, visit Precision Auto Parts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Call them today at 340-773-7276.
Precision Auto Parts, your one-stop shop for quality auto parts at unbeatable prices. Precision Auto Parts, for a smoother ride.
You see a new driveway they poured down the road? Smooth like glass.
That's Sotoli Services, locally owned, locally trusted. They handle everything from concrete and concrete pump services to heavy equipment rentals and demolition.
And best believe they've got the best prices in town. That's right. Whether you're starting a new project or clearing the way for one, call the experts built on strength, driven by service. Sotoli Services, LLC.
Give them a call today at 340-332-9872 or 340-772-7000.
That's Sotoli Services, LLC. Strong, reliable, and ready to get the job done right. Why pay more? Get the lowest prices and top quality service you can count on every time.
Sotoli Services, built on strength and driven by service.
The Puerto Rican them coming. The Puerto Rican them coming. Arroz con pollo. The Puerto Rican them coming.
Baila, baila, baila conmigo.
Yes, the Puerto Ricans, them, they are coming. It's Rumble in Paradise Part 3. 3 days you won't want to miss. Friday, test and tune. Saturday and Sunday, eliminations and finals. $20 get you in. It's drag racing at the Synchron Motorsports Complex. This is Rumble in Paradise Part 3. Synchron versus Puerto Rico. 3 days of the biggest, baddest, and fastest race cars. Wait a minute, the Puerto Ricans, them say, they're coming for the fastest motorbike, them too. Huh?
You serious?
Virgin Islands. Don't you miss the biggest drag racing event of the year. Rumble in Paradise Part 3. Remember the dates, August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Yes, August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Gates open from 4 p.m. sharp.
Let's get ready to rumble!
You don't need all the answers. You just need to show up. Put your phone down, make eye contact, and actually listen to the answer. That connection, it's everything to a teen who might be silently struggling. Have you checked in with your teen today? A few minutes of your time each day can make all the difference. Find help and hope at doh.vi.gov/Gen Z because every conversation matters.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, breezy. Showers, some thunderstorms lakeway as a tropical wave moves across the area. Temperatures only dropping to the upper 70s. More clouds and sunshine, some additional showers, a few thunderstorms on Wednesday, tapering off in the afternoon, breezy, high in the upper 80s. A few lingering showers Wednesday evening, skies become partly cloudy at night, still breezy, low near 80. Hazy sunshine for Thursday, another plume of Saharan dust starts to move into the region. It'll be breezy and warm. Temperatures should get up into the lower 90s. Partly to mostly sunny, still hazy at times on Friday. Breezy and hot, high in the lower 90s. Mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Just a slight chance for a shower. Still breezy, high around 90. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers, commentators, and experts and or hosts. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the views held by the broadcaster. The broadcaster cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program. 101.3 Row FM, WEVI.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And we're better.
You hear with Ed and Eddie.
No, stop it. Right now. Now I'm pushing it. So, the primary election coming up, the general election coming up, we're talking it's like politics for a short period of time. But have you guys been paying attention at the gate bus and some has done start running?
Of course.
Oh, of course, come on.
All right. I'll leave it there.
But
what kind of mic drop was that?
I just want to know if you guys are paying attention to what's going on.
Keep going. Don't just stop there.
Writing campaign swinging left, writing campaign swinging right. All kind of people showing up with all kind of pictures and,
some movement.
There's some slight momentum.
Some movement
taking place. By the way, the Democratic nominee, the delegate of Congress, and Stacey Plaskett, and the Senate President, Mr. Milton Pata, will be hosting a unity beach party this coming Sunday in St. Croix at Kramer's Park from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Free food, DJs, good vibes, all away, come together as one. Powered by 2. This is just a little. I just stick that in there.
We have any raffles?
Come on, man. I'm not the official spokesperson of anyone's campaign except my own. But as we talk politics, like seriously, we're talking politics, right? So I hope that the voters are paying attention, because a lot of polls they're necessarily coming out of the woodworks now. But as we prepare for the general election, you have independent candidates and Republican candidates and teams that are popping up territorially. Mm-hmm. I saw a writing campaign being pushed out of the St. Thomas, out of the island of St. Thomas, and then I saw a writing campaign being pushed out of the island of St. John, one for the Senate and then one for the border elections. So, it's good to see people stepping up to the plate. I think that the Virgin Islands people have spoken as it relates to the primary election. I project that the general election will yield some slightly different results. I don't think there may be much of a change, really and truly. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, as I've been encouraging folks, pre-primary, to do the research, don't get too comfortable. Definitely ask your tough questions. I know Levels, West Gyal, VI Comics 340. I know they're still hosting the sit-downs at Levels on Thursday with Ryan, and usually I think the second host is usually like a guest host. So they've been very intentional about how they change out individuals to co-host the event, co-host a sit-down with Ryan. But it's good to see that people are engaged for sure. But please don't be blinded by the smoke screens, and please don't allow yourself to be misinformed by the mixed messages. You have people who have the gift of gab who will make you believe that they could pick up the phone and call the president right now, because there's a lot of that was happening pre-primary, and then there's also a lot of that that's taking place now as we are 77 days out from the general election. So just continue to to hold people to the fire. Again, me myself included, and also show back up, right? So if you voted in the primary election, it is very important that you get back up and go out and vote again in the general election, because your vote is just as important the second time around as it was the first go around, right? So don't stay home and say, well, I don't already vote, me voting again. It is important for you to get up and go back out to those polls. And if you were a part of a team, gubernatorial team, who may not have reigned successful in the primary election, if you are a registered Democrat and you believe in the values of the Democratic Party, then I would implore you to definitely support the successful team, the Plaskett Pata team. And then if you were part of a camp for a senatorial candidate or a delegate Congress candidate or even a board of education, definitely by all means please find a team and definitely stay engaged. Election day is a raging ball of excitement. It is something that you would have to experience on your own, and while the topic of politics could feel quite heavy for some, and as a grey cloud for others, for me personally, being out election day and being a part of the process makes me feel good, because you get to see how other people engage and interact with one another. You get to actually see how candidates engage with the general public, and then at the end of the night, some candidates would have watch parties, so you are able to watch results and celebrate with whoever is victorious. Or you could catch a party outside of the elections office in Sunny House, right? So lots of good energy, lots of good things happening, but definitely for sure, without a doubt, get engaged, stay engaged, remain engaged, get registered, spread the word. And again, remind people that I, Shamari I. Haynes, am a candidate for the Board of Elections, and I am humbly seeking the support. And in the same breath, there's more to me than Cruising Christmas Festival and the work that I do at tourism, right? So, reach out to me, and if you want to be a part of the movement, by all means, give me a shout, 340-643-1677. You could WhatsApp me. We could add you to the Forward VI WhatsApp group chat. You could, follow our website, fwdvi.com, or hit me up on social media, right? Or Cal Tourism, because I know how to find me for everything. So, seriously though, get engaged, and just exercise your right. Pre-primary, we were talking about how this election is so important as it relates to the trajectory, not only of the territory, but St. Croix. I've been experiencing this feeling of I don't want to use the word depression. The place really dry right now, right? So we're going through a drought. Yeah. And I think that
there's something in the air.
Yeah,
there's something
adding to that weary.
There's something
energy.
lingering.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want some rain to come. I need a place to be green again, right? But this drought that we're experiencing, adding an extra level of heaviness to the island, and to the spirit. So I know it's only temporary. I know the rain gonna come, and just how we know the rain is going to eventually come and the island will be very green again, I know that change is going to come, and I know that we all will have something very exciting to look forward to, and I'll leave it there.
I want to dive into,
before we start, right? Yesterday shared a post an exclusion cultural bureau had passed Saturday. Mr. IG.
Yes, sir. Griles.
I'm very familiar,
And this is, you see, and this is why, and it made me think, right, when I saw Shamari's post, when I saw Ong's post, it made me think about our conversation. We have so much cultural barriers, so much cultural pillars inside our community. That's our next well of knowledge that just drifted away, and it makes us think, right, why are we not tapping into these cultural pillars while they're here, waiting until they pass away, and we're letting that knowledge drift away, letting that expertise drift away, letting that.
So I met IG while I was a student at Claramarco Elementary School. I've stated before that I've played music.
Educator?
No, he's a musician. He played with 10C Plus Nights.
Oh, wow.
And then, funny enough, in getting to know me, I found out that he played music with my great grandfather, the late Frank Charles Senior, affectionately known as Dada. We used to call it Dada, but everybody, all the bandman them, all the Crujan bandman them, had known my grandfather as Bad Dog. So, you know, I was able to build out that relationship, get to know him, and then I met his daughter Amy, and, you know, me and Amy actually got very good. And funny enough, me and Amy, you know who's Amy? Remember when we was at Party Festival, we had got that drink from that lady, and I asked him for the napkin or something. You remember, I'll jog your memory. So that's his daughter. And funny enough, right there, we're having a conversation about, you know, her dad, and, you know, he just like living his best life. So, I mean, it's sad that we've lost an ex pillar in the community, an ex cultural pillar, but it makes me feel good to know that he lived a full long life. You know, so you know, my condolences are extended, of course, to his family, his loved ones, to his daughter, to his former bandmates. I mean, it's just he's a Frederickstead too, right? So you guys probably pass his house all the time and didn't even know that's where he lived. So he did like on the stretch into Frederickstead. So no stranger to culture, no stranger to the local music, the Kolbe scene, no stranger to us in Frederickstead. But it's just sad to see our next one go. But I don't think, to your point, I don't think that we do a good job at just documenting. I feel like digitally, the Virgin Islands is 15 years behind. And I think that by the time we actually catch up, we will still be behind. So I think we need to do a better job at documenting and also telling the stories, because there are so many people who contribute, not only to Virgin Islands culture, but there's so many people who contribute to just the way of life,
internationally,
right?
Worldwide,
and not just like locally, like everywhere. So you know, we need to do a better job at sharing those stories, highlighting those individuals, letting the public know who they are, honoring and honing into their contributions, because it matters, right? So we're doing things, we don't know why we're doing it, we don't know who started, we don't know who are a part of it, we don't know the role that they played. So again, I try my best to educate, share stories. Even with you guys, I don't tell you guys all the time, sometimes we'll be out and I'll spot somebody and I'm like, that person is such and such, and a person related to such and such, because I think that those things are very important.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know, oftentimes, and ladies and gentlemen, feel free to join the conversation. You know, you can dial in at 340-715-7948. Again, that's 340-715-7948. A lot of times we are so resistant to change that we talked about this before, but I think it's important to repeat. We tend to be so resistant to change, especially here on St. Croix, that we end up losing more in the long run than we could have gained. And I'll expound on that in a few. Oh. Caller, we missed you. I was just about to answer and the call dropped, so please call back. And good afternoon, Mr. Henry. Thank you for joining us on the Facebook Live.
Afternoon, my brother.
How are you, brother?
That's a troublemaker.
Afternoon.
But I was getting into how a lot of times we are so resistant to change, especially here in St. Croix, because I feel St. Thomas is pro-development, right? They to find a way to get it done. We are a bit more slow over here in St. Croix, for good reasons at times. But we have to find a better balance, right? But a lot of times we end up holding on to things so long that we lose more in the long run. And I say that because if we embrace change a bit more and found a way to include new ways of life and, you know, the advancement in technology along the way, but still preserve our culture, we would keep a lot more. Like, imagine if we were digitizing our culture, right?
Yeah.
Imagine, like, I think about, like, you know, I'm an engineer, so I think about structures. There's preventative maintenance that you could do along the way that could extend the life of whatever structure,
Any structure,
right? But if you don't do that preventative maintenance, eventually you're going to reach to a point where you're forced to replace it, right? Where that preventative maintenance could have probably, you probably wouldn't have even had to reach that point of complete replacement, at least not that fast. Maybe it would buy you 10 to 20 years. But a lot of times we take so long and we hold on to things for so long without embracing change that things become outdated. Like, think of like products, you know. A lot of the technology that we use, manufacturers don't even create them products anymore. And we'd be reaching out to them to try and get them to, you know, fix things and get them to give us back parts for that. And they're like, guys, like, we done 5-10 years ahead. Like, we using new products, we using new parts. Yeah, they literally do not make the parts for what we need anymore, and complete replacement is needed. So I say that to say, you know, when we look forward to the future of the Virgin Islands and we start to think about development and change and just progression, we have to find a better balance of embracing the future, you know, and embracing what's to come. And that ties into this culture conversation that we're having right now.
What does embracing the future look like to you?
I think we are. Let me restart. I think embracing the future is being more open-minded to
new ways of doing things.
Yes, there are cons to, you know, like think of AI. There are cons to AI. People tend to just, you know, go on to ChatGPT and get the answers immediately and don't do their due diligence, don't do their research, and don't even like proofread the answers that they're getting from AI or ChatGPT or whoever, right? But there's a sustainable way to use AI too. You can use AI to gain ideas. You can, based on the ideas that you get, you can go and do further research. You can proofread. You don't just have to take the answers verbatim and not develop your own knowledge or ask more developing questions to further your knowledge, right? So I think when that comes to culture and that comes to development, we have to find a way to incorporate the good and limit the bad. I think right now we tend to just focus on the bad, and because of the bad, like, we don't want it at all.
Do you think it's generational?
Generations definitely have a part to play in that, you know. You only know, or you're comfortable with what you used to, and, you know, new things require you to step outside your comfort zone, but eventually is either you hop on the train or you get left behind. I mean, the world ain't waiting for we. So,
and you know, to the point, right? Our former boss, former executive director, Carlton Dow, always used to say that, you know, in giving speeches and testimonies, he always used to say that the Caribbean, the world is not waiting for the United States Virgin Islands to catch up to them. When we look around the Caribbean, groundbreaking initiatives, groundbreaking things are happening worldwide, and we're still in this state that we just want things to stay the same. And sometimes when we talk about modernization, even when I was on a campaign trail, right, I was telling people that sometimes modernization doesn't always have to be technology. Modernization could just be a new way of thinking or a new way of doing something. Prime example, if you look at housing, ICF. Many people, right. ICF is a new insulated concrete form. So instead of doing your regular brick and mortar,
explain to the people.
Oh,
you guys are the only two engineers in the room.
Well, guys, ICF is insulated concrete forms. Instead of doing your regular brick and mortar, you can use ICF. It's just as reliable as doing concrete. You set it up, you use the structure, you set it up for your structure for your house. Some people even use it for buildings, and I think, and it's hurricane proof. It could withstand wind milestones for, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 175 I think 175 per hour.
And so instead of using wood to form your concrete,
you could use ICF and foam, and so it's cheaper.
Sets up the concrete, and then it becomes part of the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So for my own knowledge, probably for the listeners as well.
Mhm.
You ever see like a concrete wall deteriorating and like you press on it and it's foam on the inside?
Mhm.
Is that what that is?
I wouldn't say so.
Because I've seen buildings where
Mhm.
like, you know, they have like a thin layer of concrete over it.
Mhm.
And you know, like sometimes the concrete wall will start to crack or chip.
Mhm.
But right behind of that, I've seen like foam.
So that's
Or
that can be
insulation.
on the
Insulation.
inside.
Yeah.
But this but it's the,
But no, it's
the
good.
same.
It's similar
it's just the
concept. You have it,
insulation is on the
yeah,
outside.
outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So you're not far
So
out.
Yeah,
That's the layers that you were
That's
talking
the
about.
words you were talking about.
Leave it there.
So like that was an example, right? That's something that it's not technological, but it's a new way. It's a modern way of doing something, and I think that's the mindset that we need to inherit. Not every to your point, Mo. Not everything is bad. We don't just take something when people tell us it's bad. We don't say, okay, this person tell us it's bad. It's bad. We don't do our due diligence. We don't do our research.
I don't think that's 100%.
You don't think so?
I don't think that's 100% true. I think that we live in a time right now where people will research in an effort to challenge, right? Sometimes it is counterproductive to what the mission is. But I know, like, let's read the room. I can't call any names or I wouldn't call any particular situation. But if you think really hard, there has been situations where, like a prime example, I'll use this. The governor just an example. The governor may show up and say, we could do X, Y, or Z that will benefit X, Y, or Z. And then somebody who just want to challenge the governor gonna say, well, what about A, B, and C? He tell me about X, Y, or Z, but I get A, B, and C. But I don't think that they necessarily do their own research in an effort to share different perspective. I think it's just a challenge. I think if we change the reason why, or we change our why, not everybody. No, this is not everybody. But I think if we change our why, then I think it'll be more conducive to productivity.
You know what I think? I think, and
you follow me, right?
I follow you.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I follow you.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, we follow
I
you.
think, and you know me, this is very idealized, very hard to implement. DreamWorks International. I think that we need to put a greater focus on the greater collective and what benefits the most people. I think that great initiatives do not go through because special interest groups want to protect what they want to protect. Naturally so, because if it's doing good for you, it's doing good for you. And, you know, you don't want to cut back on your butter and your buttery steak and your, what did they say? Steak too buttery, lobster too whatever. I don't know.
I have no
I don't
idea.
eat seafood. Anyways.
I laugh because he said I won't say it, and he was I don't know.
I think, you know, special interest groups want to protect what they have, and in protecting what they have, it leads to the detriment of the greater collective.
Yeah,
I agree and I disagree at the same time.
But power and influence. Not saying that it's okay. We had this conversation this morning.
We did, but the reason why I say I agree and I disagree at the same time. Sometimes the resources are there, but it's up to the people who, if you want to use them. And prime example from experience, because you know we all have different perspectives, and that's what makes us unique, right? I've seen people that say, "Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that," and then when I tell them, "Hey, you know, CTech offering courses in this, you could do this. It have this going on. It has this program." What are you doing? Sometimes we have to get out of this mindset that some people just want someone to save them and they don't want to put the groundwork in themselves.
I agree with that too. We definitely do it to ourselves.
Something
and
people do it to
our own
themselves.
detriment.
Exactly.
I let me tell you something. In this conversation, I've taken a back seat.
Why?
Because I like the way you guys are driving the bus. We ain't hit a pothole yet. I mean, get whiplash. So.
I need to find the biggest pothole. What's the biggest pothole on the island right now?
There's none. The governor is doing a very good job at paving the roads. We could talk about Frederickson, but anyway, different story.
But no, but so you know, and when you say it's by design, I could agree, but I could disagree as well. Sometimes some people just want to stay, some people comfortable. You might want to live a lavish lifestyle, right? Think about it. All of us have different ideologies and where we want to be in life. We have different goals for ourselves. Some of us want to be at the highest top. We want to be able to be financially free, want to be able to travel this place, travel that place. That might be our lifestyle for us. But then we have Jeff on the other hand. Jeff perfect lifestyle is he able to pay his bills, take care of his family, work his 9 to 5, have a nice decent sized house, and that's perfect for him. So in our work and life and our working journey, entering this road together, we have to understand that while we might want more for some people just don't want more for themselves. They're comfortable where they are.
I could challenge you. I gonna challenge you.
Challenge
I don't know
it.
how I gonna challenge you, but I gonna challenge
Challenge
you.
it.
So, what does that mean? Do we continue the same old? Let me read Kamani's comment from the Facebook Live. Kamani said, I feel as if there isn't even a choice to embrace change. Things are going to change whether we want it to or not. It's up to us to be willing to adapt to the change or get left behind.
Let me stop real quick.
Okay.
And when it comes to the Virgin Islands as a whole, I mean, I think we need to, as a whole, like, as a territory, I think, do we know what we want? Like, I think we need to decide and figure out and think about what we want. Like, do we want things to stay the same? Do we want better? Like,
we say we want better, right? And then when the better is coming, we're resistant to it. We want change, but when the change is coming, we're resistant to it. You say you want development. When development comes down, don't get me wrong, I'm not. Some developments we need proper vetting systems in place, and we need to make sure that the procurement process is more stronger, more modern, to ensure that when we're doing these projects and we want the development, that it doesn't come to the detriment of the people of the Virgin Islands. But sometimes we say we want development and we say, oh no, we don't want this, and then when something happens, we say, oh, we need this. So it's like, what do we want?
I think a lot of people in the Virgin Islands really just want the fundamentals to be like perfecto. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No,
I'm saying that's like
thing.
that's the reality. Like, we
want a reliable power grid. We want good health care, sustainable health care.
Good education.
We want good education. We want good roads. We want to make sure that the gas prices are not astronomical. We want, and I think before we could talk about development and everything else, right, I think that's what the people want the most. We want to make sure, like what you said, and I agree with you, that the fundamentals are in before we transfer off into anything else.
I wish that I could go back. I'd find really I'd find really funny. I would just public allow me to to pinch up the older generation a little bit. But I'd find it really funny how our elders talk about the good old days, you should have seen St. Croix back in the day. Party City. We had this, we had that. But then right after that is things ain't as hard as they used to be, and we complaining too much. Don't get me wrong, our generation they do a lot of complaining.
We do,
and we don't do enough action. But
that's where we come in, though. Just to insert that's where we come in.
Continue.
And I said, and the reason why I said that's where we come in, because I think we've been able to change the narrative and reignite hope that many people feel comfortable in the way the territory is leading, because we've seen it for ourselves. After the primary, many people told us that they're comfortable knowing that, okay, the Virginia is going to be in a great place in the future, you know, because we weren't afraid to step up to the plate. We're two individuals that we're not only about talk alone, we're about action. And mommy, I know you listening, credit to you. I love you, but you know me, I'm we love you, but you've been one of my biggest support systems and my rock in everything I do in life. So you know your son love you, but my mother instilled in me many values that she always told me that don't only be about talk alone, you know, be about action as well. So I think, right, we've been able to bring our generation into the fight with us. Think about it. Through Vital, how many of our members in Vital have told us they haven't did anything like this before and they're glad to be a part of this movement? A lot, and we still have more to go. So be on the lookout for Vital, and that's our non-profit started by myself, Mo and Shamari, for the listening and public audience, which stands for. Read that comment to me.
So we got an interesting comment on the live stream.
That's one of my old musical mentors, by the way. Big up Dival.
And Dival said, change starts with care.
Mm-hmm.
The problem isn't whether one person is more comfortable in life than the next. There's a lot of people that love their life in the Virgin Islands, and there's others that suffer daily. The root of our issues is that there are not enough people that are affected by seeing others struggle. If I'm succeeding and my brother is failing in an economy where we are to be equal, then I don't care enough to affect true change.
Wait. How you... And I can't challenge that because I wholeheartedly agree. I think many people don't care about the problems because they're not affected by it. It only takes when something happens to someone,
when it hit
home for it to change. For example, I trying to say this by being politically correct.
They clipping you all now.
That's why treading lightly, but it goes to our point. Okay. Recently, right? We saw a homicide that happened close to the Superior Court, and we don't know the details about that. And then it looked like when you pass the Superior Court, you know, the bushes, you know, if you pass the Superior Court, you realize the bushes are cleared. And I think that could tie back to our point that if something happened close to home, it took them to clear the bushes. You understand what I'm saying, right?
You lost me. You had me, but you lost me. You lost me with the bushes, but it's probably because you're trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
So I gonna just... Maybe it's a meeting.
Well, we're gonna break.
I get what you're trying.
I gonna break it down.
You're trying to
I gonna
say.
break it down for you.
It shouldn't have to take for things to happen to you personally for you to start caring.
Yes.
That's empathy? That's not sympathy. That's
no,
empathy.
Yeah, that's empathy. Yes, having empathy for a person, for people.
Empathy was a greater value within the Virgin Islands, and I think this is what Dival is trying to say.
Not even the Virgin Islands in general. I think the whole
Just
world, just being a human, that's basic human analogy. Some people don't have that. Some people don't have that care. They don't have that, you know. And it's just basic empathy. If we can get back to the way how things were, have that village, you know. Even nowadays, right, you can't even correct a child without a parent coming tell you, oh, What you correcting my child for? Who you think you be to tell my child this, you know? Like those basic. I try and look for.
But why has that changed? We such a small community. And we becoming way more individualistic and we have less of a proclivity to ask for support or ask for help. Like, you know, when I was smaller, it was okay to go over to your neighbor to ask for a little bit of sugar if you run out of sugar until, you know, you go to do your shopping. But you might be cooking right now and you need a little sugar and, you know, you need it in the meantime. But that's kind of frowned upon now, right? Like, I know many people that live where they live and don't even know their neighbors, don't know their name. Like, their neighbors, they can't even reach out to their neighbors if something like wrong or happened to them. Their neighbors can't do the same, vice versa. Like, and I think that has a lot to do with our American status, right? Pros and cons. You know, we gain the benefits, we gain the federal funds, but what about the influence that comes from the mainland as
and how does that trickle down to our everyday life? But let's hold at that, because we know we about to pay some bills. So guys, don't touch the dial. Still acting with us. The conversation get interesting.
This is D340 Exchange.
We'll be right back.
Puerto Rico, right here on St. Croix. Lorraine Chicken Shack, La Pollera de Medellín. Locals and visitors alike have made the Lorraine Chicken Shack a part of their family's menu. Rotisserie chicken with Johnny cakes and delicious rice and beans, my favorite. You got to try their conch balls. And the dinner menu is to die for. Kill me now.
Now available, open-air seating space at the Chicken Shack. To order, call 778-5717 or 778-5715.
Yo, Virgin Islands!
Yes!
The flavor turn all the way up! Bigger is in the building! Ginger beer, fruit punch, grape, apple, orange, pineapple, and cream soda. Big taste, big vibes, bigger energy. Whether you're liming, chilling on the beach, or just running through town, grab a bigger and feel larger than life. Ask for bigger at your nearest convenience store. Now distributed island-wide by Gomez Distributors LLC. Call 340-690-5043 or 340-204-1621. Bigger, go bigger or go home.
Is your Homer business ready for a fresh new look? Phantom Eyes LLC has got you covered from top to bottom. From professional painting and power washing to tiling, masonry, cistern services, and deep cleaning, even yard cleanup. Phantom Eyes LLC does it all, and they do it right. We bring precision, reliability, and an eye for detail to every project. Big job or small job, your property is our priority. Call 340-226-3610 today and let Phantom Eyes LLC transform your space. Phantom Eyes LLC. If you can imagine it, we can improve it.
Are you looking for reliable shipping solutions? Look no further than Priority Global Services. We specialize in roll-on, roll-off, and loose cargo shipping between San Juan, the Dominican Republic, the USVI, and the BVI. Whether it's vehicles, equipment, boxes, or pallets, we move it all with ease. With weekly sailings and top-notch service, your cargo is in good hands. So why wait? Visit PriorityGlobal.com or call 787-721-1922 today. Priority Global Services, where your success is our priority.
Napa Auto and Truck Part owners have been a part of the Virgin Islands community for generations. They're the pros that know how great employment in the Virgin Islands affects the quality of life for families. Napa pros treat every employee and customer like family because let's face it, they probably are family. Napa's extensive part inventory include parts for new model cars and trucks, older model cars and trucks, and every island raga in between. And let's not forget the agriculture equipment parts and and custom hydraulic hoses that Napa keeps in stock so our farmers can get the field plowed and our communities fed locally. Napa pros are proud to be a part of this community. Shop locally, shop Napa. Call 772-0155 for Napa. All your auto, truck, agriculture, and marine part needs today.
On Friday, September 4, 2026, Believe It and Coconuts kicks off the Labor Day weekend in high gear. It's an all-black affair featuring Mr. Big Capalone, the Caribbean Baddest. He's also nominated for the Best International DJ of the CMAs of 2026. It's DJ Avalanche! Also making this event one to remember will be the youngest veteran, DJ Chubby! The man with the plan, Kimo Dan. And the West Side Defenders, Fire Emblem. Doors open at 10:30 p.m. $25 get in before 12. Friday, September 4th. Soca, dancehall, hip-hop, Afrobeats, rhythm can done, and much more. DJ Avalanche, DJ Chubby, Kimo Dan, Fire Emblem, at Believe It and Coconuts.
You're listening to 101.3 Row FM, now broadcasting from the Napa Auto and Truck Parts Studio. Fisherman's Wife, did he call you for that part? Call us. We'll have it ready for pickup before he's back to shore. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers, commentators, and experts and or hosts. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the views held by the broadcaster. The broadcaster cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program. 101.3 Row FM, WEVI.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back.
We are back. The conversation with us, it was very nice, guys. So also big up to everybody who there in the life who joined us. You know, we're having a nice conversation. We're also in it today, you know. So, and again, more gonna tell her the number if you want to call in and join the conversation with us.
It is 340-715-7948. 340-715-7948. Colin, tell us how you
feel. Yeah, we'll hear your thoughts on the conversation.
You know, we approaching the end of the year. You know, we heading into Q4.
Yeah, my son.
So, you know, how has 2026 been
so far for you guys?
You? Come talk to us.
Let's talk to you.
We're ready to listen. But before we jumped off to, you know, pay our little water bill in this drought that we having, we were talking about change and progression and some of the things that's needed that we don't necessarily think about. Deval talked about care and empathy, and I was getting into how so change is inevitable, right? In my opinion.
Yeah, you can't avoid change.
You can't avoid change.
Whether you like it or not.
But there's some things that we have lost
along the way
that I think we need to resurrect and I think need to be preserved. I was getting into the fact that, you know, when I was younger, it was more customary for you to be able to run over to your neighbor and, you know, ask for a little bit of sugar so you could finish your cooking.
Or even some eggs or something. Some eggs or something. It
wouldn't be frowned upon, but, you know, nowadays, a lot of people don't even know their neighbors, don't talk to their neighbors, don't interact with their neighbors.
Don't have that connection.
You know, God forbid you have a medical concern and you can't even have your neighbors, you know, check up on you if they realize something seems a bit off because y'all don't interact. And I think a lot of that is because of the fact that we are a American territory. I have had the opportunity to live in the mainland, Miami, Florida specifically. And Miami is such an interesting place. I always think of the Virgin Islands as a mini Miami because there's literally so much people here. Like, we have Haitians, we have Puerto Ricans, we have Dominicans, we have Dominicans.
So how was that transition for you?
Venezuelans. Which transition?
From
going from here to the mainland?
Even from the Virgin Islands, that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie, transferring over into the mainlands, living in the mainland, being around a new culture, a new way of life, getting accustomed. You know, the mainland is more on the fast. Like, you know, you could correct me if I'm on the fast life. You know, and here at home, I wouldn't say not slow, but, you know, it's like pace. It's like, you know.
I mean, it was a huge culture shock for me.
And what were some of the main things that you learned? Even learn about yourself.
I feel like mainlanders are very individualistic. There is not that much of a sense of community unless you live in certain spaces. Spaces that are more dense, like New York, you will find more community there because everyone is literally up under everyone else. Like just the way, you know, the structures are built. But as a whole, I feel like mainlanders are more individualistic because it's much bigger, right? So while, you know, you could walk around in town here and bump into like 10 people that you know, up there, most of the people that you're walking around, you don't necessarily know. And I bring that up because I feel like we are becoming more individualistic. And one thing that I would like to see us preserve is that community engagement and reinforcement that we have here. And you know, the idea that a village raises a child, I feel like we're losing that rapidly.
So going back into the point before we left on air, when we left, the people were saying that, do we feel that Americanized system, that we the American flag, that to your point where you were saying that, do we feel that it is it causing an effect on the community in our way of thinking, or is there something greater in play?
My perspective on this is just so different.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Crime. That's when you're in a community. You can't even go tell your neighbor good morning. Nobody don't feel safe in their own house. So we lost a sense of community because our own community turned on one another. Let me say you move in with him. You afraid to even venture up the wrong road. You afraid to go knock on your neighbor and be like, hey, knock on your neighbor door, hey, I's a new neighbor. Because everybody has that. Everybody.
For true, you know?
Yeah. I don't think it's, maybe the American flag or being so Americanized has played a part. But I think that people are living within communities that they don't feel safe in. Think about it. It's crime. Nobody don't feel safe. So y'all could stay there where y'all picket fence. Oh, we live in America. It's us. Some people afraid to even go out. And if you're out, they go home before the sun go down. You afraid to go to a local restaurant because the gang man them standing up on the corner. You afraid to park in Christianstead because by the time you walk back to the parking lot, somebody might take your car. It's crime.
That's true.
That's the biggest problem in the community, in my opinion. That's just my perspective. I'm not afraid. When you talk to people, when you talk to elders, I've been in the barber shop last week, and them were cracking joke, and this is prominent individuals in the barbershop, elders at that, and they were having conversation about, they were cracking joke about going home early because, you know, once you're in your house, you got everything because you can't go back out until the next day. Like, it was funny in a moment, but it's also true. And it's a realistic of the reality of many people. Think about your grandmother. Your grandmother don't hang out late in the night. Why not? Even us now. You have a popular bar on island. I won't call the bar name.
I mean, I was just about to say, you drive around and you look at bars, they're not as filled.
Correct. Because people afraid to hang out. Because you might be to a bar sitting down, just hanging out. Sitting down here in real time as we speak right now, I just received a text message. Somebody fire off shots in Harborview. So now children can't even hang out outside, or parents are afraid to let the kids hang out outside in broad daylight, outside in dark. Well, we don't inside. I don't think outside dark, right? But like things like that. So it's crime. So if we got a handle on crime and the community feels safer, then people won't hang out later, and you're gonna be okay just wandering through your neighborhood, your local neighborhood. I grew up, we riding bike. We there in Safrali, and we riding bike, and we going to Mali, and we going to what was Harrigan. And we moved from Safrali and we gone in Camperico and we there in Wim. And we gone back down in Safrali. We belong down there, but that's why we there. Right? But a lot of that stuff don't happen anymore because people are afraid. Complex had a line of fights. The school just start.
School year just
Complex been
start.
on lockdown twice already. Twice.
We ain't even that month into
That's
school
not my
yet.
opinion. I could call her educator right now and she could confirm. Right? Now, you have to now worry about something that happened in the school that may potentially end up out in the streets. That's the reality. They have nothing to do with us being Americanized and again, if the colors feel different and I respect people's perspective and point of view, people don't have to agree with me. That's just my perspective. I don't think it have anything to do with us being Americanized. I mean, we've seen a lot of people that don't look like us moving in. And that's not nothing new to the Virgin Islands or the Caribbean. Like, that's not new. People have been coming here all the time. But you're afraid to... You don't know if the person I'm moving is a sexual offender. There's just so many different things. Because America changed. Like not America. Like, people has changed. Times have changed. It's a different time. So you really can't let your guard down too much. But I think that people would be more inclined to meeting and greeting who's new to the neighborhood if they feel safe. Think about it.
I mean, I don't disagree. But you know how my mind work in.
Tell me.
How do we revert? How do we U-turn? Like, right now it seems like there is a positive reinforcement, so to speak.
Of what?
Just not positive in terms of good, but like it's like a feedback cycle that keeps happening. It's like, okay, how do I explain it? You go out, you're minding your business, something happened. So now you don't come out, you don't go out as much.
So you also don't tell the police what you see because people don't trust the police.
Correct. And that same cycle happens again. And then it happens again. And then it starts, it starts spreading. So it's like, how do you backpedal? Revolt.
I had to step out for a minute to handle some business. But I think when I came back in, you were talking about the village. You mentioned the village. What was the
Well, we had bring up the village because one of the listeners was talking about the fact that if more people had a greater sense of care and empathy here, a lot of things would be different.
I don't think it's just here alone. I just think that people lack empathy around the wall,
and
that's not an excuse.
And yeah, that was my point. And that's what I said as well when you were out. I was telling more that I don't think it's not empathy. It's just not a here thing. It's in the world in general. That's a basic human trait. A lot of people some people don't have it. Yeah, they like what you said. A lot of people lack it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also are living in a let me mind my business space. Back in the day, if you had a nosy neighbor, it was a good thing, right? So you want, in some cases, to live next to a nosy neighbor because if you got to walk and your window open or you leave your door swinging open or something, you want a nosy neighbor to alert you and let you know, hey, you
are listening still, man. What?
I really was totally clocked out. I totally missed. So if you guys are having a
conversation, that's the exact same thing we're talking about.
I apologize for being redundant. Now, and your neighbor might see your door open, but they might not call. First of all, do they have your cell phone number or a way to contact you? Secondly, they might see the door open and might figure maybe somebody there and there, let me mind my business. It's unfortunate. That's the direction the world is going. How do we change that? I don't know. Maybe we need to really and truly revisit that village mentality. But I don't really know if we want that. I don't know if not we, but I don't know if people want that. I don't rag up people children. I don't care. If I see your child doing wrong, I'm going to rag up your child. I'm going to rough them up, and you know that. But I also know roughing up somebody's child or correcting them, then I might got face a mother and father who might be upset. But, I don't really care. I'm going to correct children. But then there's other people, other adults who'll be like, well, her mother or his mother might be crazy or me know who his father be, let me just mind my business. I don't really co-sign to that way of thinking, but there are people who co-sign to that. People just rather mind the business,
I think we live in a world today where back then there was more a shared sense of values and things that
morals.
It's just so this is what we agree on and this is what happening. I think there's more of a tolerance to, I'm gonna say it like this, living in your own truth and having your own idea of what is right and what is wrong, and there's pros and cons to that. And I think this is one of the cons that we're facing.
Together as a nation.
Yes, not limited to here.
Okay.
Yes.
That was me asking, by the way.
Yes.
No.
I
disagree with you.
I said something and
I
hold back.
I was going to say something.
Hold back. I feel my chair vibrate. I'm like, what?
I was going to say something, but no. We gonna have that conversation.
You know what?
No.
We gonna go and pay a few bills and we gonna come right back. I gonna let you simmer with that thought and find a way to make it politically correct. So don't touch the dial. Don't touch your volume. This is D340 Exchange. We're gonna be right back on 101.3 Row FM.
On Friday, September 4, 2026, Believe It and Coconuts kicks off the Labor Day weekend in high gear. It's an all-black affair featuring Mr. Big Capalone, the Caribbean Baddest. He's also nominated for the Best International DJ of the CMAs of 2026. It's DJ Avalanche! Also making this event one to remember will be the youngest veteran, DJ Chubby! The man with the plan, Chemo Dan. And the Westside Defenders, Fire Emblem. Doors open at 10:30 p.m. $25 get you before 12. Friday, September 4. Soca, dancehall, hip-hop, Afrobeats, rhythm can done, and much more. DJ Avalanche, DJ Chubby, Chemo Dan, Fire Emblem at Believe It and Coconuts.
Is your Homer business ready for a fresh new look? Phantom Eyes LLC has got you covered from top to bottom. From professional painting and power washing to tiling, masonry, cistern services, and deep cleaning, even yard cleanup. Phantom Eyes LLC does it all, and they do it right. We bring precision, reliability, and an eye for detail to every project. Big job or small job, your property is our priority. Call 340-226-3610 today and let Phantom Eyes LLC transform your space. Phantom Eyes LLC. If you can imagine it, we can improve it.
You cannot fly with only one wing. Get 2 wings for the price of one. Every Tuesday at Church's Texas Chicken in Sunny Isle. Get 2 legs for walking, 2 tenders for loving, or 2 wings for flying. You buy one item, you get the next item free. Bring a friend. It's 2 for Tuesdays every Tuesday. Buy one and get one free at Church's Texas Chicken in Sunny Isle. If you ain't got no friends, get 2 wings and fly go find one. Church's Texas Chicken in Sunny Isle, my son.
Don't miss the most sophisticated fun ever. Cabins for Uber Soca 2026 are moving fast. Join the world's largest festival at sea. Setting sail from Miami October 27th to November 1st. Stopping at 2 amazing destinations, Great Stirrup Cay and Grand Turk, Turks and Caicos. With a dream lineup of over 80 of the hottest soca artists and DJs bringing non-stop vibes, that signature USC magic and energy. Limited cabins available. Lock yours in now at ubersocacruise.com. Flexible payment plans means there's no reason to wait. Last year's cruise was the best yet. So get your team ready and book your cabin today for Uber Soca Cruise 2026.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, breezy. Showers, some thunderstorms lakeway as a tropical wave moves across the area. Temperatures only dropping to the upper 70s. More clouds and sunshine, some additional showers, a few thunderstorms on Wednesday, tapering off in the afternoon, breezy, high in the upper 80s. A few lingering showers Wednesday evening, skies become partly cloudy at night, still breezy, low near 80. Hazy sunshine for Thursday, another plume of Saharan dust starts to move into the region. It'll be breezy and warm. Temperatures should get up into the lower 90s. Partly to mostly sunny, still hazy at times on Friday. Breezy and hot, high in the lower 90s. Mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Just a slight chance for a shower. Still breezy, high around 90. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan.
Dream big, never smile.
I want her to know that big more than you're dreaming, and I love it. I love being in a space with people who are so hopeful.
How am I dreaming today?
I don't want to get into it. I just want to
get into it.
Dreaming.
Let's get into it.
No.
How am I dreaming today?
His girl say that you don't work for DreamWorks and I work for Warner Brothers, which is funny. But it's good that you're a dream about. We gotta come back down to reality. And I live in a very realistic space. Sometimes it could seem pessimistic. What you call it? You call it a time. You give it a terminology.
Pragmatic.
Yes.
You in pessimism are pragmatic.
Pragmatism.
It's the space in which I live. But seriously, like I feel like crime, really and truly affects everything and everybody. Whether it's people within a community, whether it is small businesses in a specific town or place.
But you know what's so sad? And I'm going to put the onus on me for this. Crime is so normalized here that
it's not unfortunate thing.
It's not.
That
there are places
everywhere.
Crime is so normalized. Crime is so
way worse than we.
That when we think about, or when I think about priorities, or when we have discussion about priority items here in the Virgin Islands, rarely do I hear crime.
But like Tosha Mari's point, right? Prime example. When people will say talk about home and a crime, in my head, you know what I say? It's not that bad. I understand the problem, but like what Tosha Mari's point, it had places in the world, even other Caribbean islands, that's way worse than us. That every day they experience a homicide, every day they experience a murder, something happens.
I don't want to.
But I don't mean it should be normalized.
No.
I don't want to speak as if I am a law enforcement professional. And I also don't want to enforce the individuals in blue who put a life on the line every day. I don't fight crime.
And we thank you for your service.
I respect them. I think that VIPD is doing the best that they can do, considering the resources that they have. I think that sometimes, I know that sometimes the system makes it difficult. A prime example is if VIPD have all of the evidence of a crime and they want to prosecute or arrest, they want to arrest somebody, in seeking a warrant, if that judge feel as if they don't have enough evidence, then they don't get a warrant, right? Sometimes that's the system. The system don't necessarily make it easy for them to do their jobs. But I think that as a community, I don't think that we do a very good job in supporting police officers, and I don't think that as a community we do a good job at supporting each other. And
that's why I was pointing the onus on myself. It wasn't even to come for VIPD. I was focusing on the individual responsibility that we all should share in protecting our community.
We are not me, but we are afraid as a community. The community afraid to talk up, and that's not anything new. People just afraid. Nothing. What should be confidential isn't. And I had a debate with a police officer about 1-800-222-TIPS. Shout out to Judy Fricks, right? And the individual reassured me time and time that it is 100% confidential, right? But how do we prove that to
the public?
But if we hold each other accountable intentionally, I think you'll see a change in crime. There has been a recent uptick in gun violence. There has also been a uptick in DV cases, and them police officers get their hands full. And then they're also being called to provide assistance to those individuals who may be unsheltered or mentally ill. So there's lots of challenges. Police officer clocks into a shift, and I'm pretty sure they deal with things from one end of the spectrum to the very next end. It could be a shooting, it could be domestic violence, it could be a car accident.
Literally don't know you are.
You know, almost all in one shift, right? So, you know, I respect the work that they do. And, you know, the police department utilizing technology to offset the shortage of manpower and a bunch of different things. Again, in my opinion, I don't think VIPD is doing so much of a good job when it comes to recruiting police officers, but that's my personal opinion. You know, that's my opinion. But I think if we got a handle on crime, then you'll see a change in certain elements or pieces of our community.
You know, I was looking into, I think there was a hearing recently, and the topic of like the amount of overtime that police officers have to do because of the shortage of police officers. And you know how my brain works, very technical. So in my head, I was wondering, it may be beneficial if VIPD was to look into using some of the money that they spend in overtime, because we spend quite a lot, right? Using some of the money that we spend in overtime towards increasing salaries to get more people to join.
I don't. So,
because starting right now is 35, and then if you graduate from the academy, you bump up to 40 or something like that.
I don't want to. I need to be 100% sure in that. I don't know why I feel like I read I was starting on 44 or something like that. I don't recall. And I'm not 100% sure. But I don't really know if that's a fix, because now if you take overtime salaries without overtime money, and you put it towards bumping up the salaries of officers that are coming in, then what happens when you need police officers to work overtime?
Well, you can't do all for sure. You can't use up all of that overtime funds that you had.
I
more of like a
damn, this is such a this is such a, because I don't want to offend.
Of course. This conversation is not to
offend anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to offend
or to make them seem like they're not doing their due diligence.
Meanwhile, what's along the work that they do?
It's just to no, that's not my intention. You know how my mind work. I am solution oriented.
The Virgin Islands have over 600 police officers. Why does the Virgin Islands Police Department have a shortage of police officers on manpower? Take from that what you choose. Take from that what you choose.
The PD have a spokesperson position available.
I don't. Glenn Drake, if I'm not mistaken, is a spokesperson for VIPD. But like, that's factual. That's not my opinion. That's factual. So how can more outreach be done? Like, okay, in my mind, you have a bunch of young men that graduated from high school that don't know what they want to do. Some might stay home for a year and then decide that they're going to go to college, or they're going to go to the armed forces or go to trade school.
But remember, not to cut you off, you remember, I think you had mentioned that once upon a time, like, becoming a police was the thing. Like, it was an attractive career.
But why are we not grabbing individuals? Actually, I think this is probably one of the reasons. In order for you to legally carry a firearm, you have to be 21. So that's a barrier. You graduate from high school 17 or 18. You can legally carry a firearm until 21. That's facts. How are we? What can we do? How can we be creative or start some sort of initiative? And if it already exists, call in. How can we grab them fresh out of high school with no plan of action, get them involved in the department or in the process? I know that we have CSOs. One of the challenges, let me know that. Right now we have CSOs, but you have CSOs that don't want to be police officers, and you have CSOs that are making more money than police officers, right? So if I'm making more money than a police officer, and I'm a CSO, if I don't have any interest in being a police officer, why would I? And why, I don't know if this exists, but why isn't there a contract in being a CSO that said, well, if you work as a CSO for a certain amount of years, providing that you're going to become a police officer at the same salary? Like, do those things exist? I don't know. You know, but just in my mind, how do we fill a gap, bridge a gap?
The first one you said does exist, because I remember attending my little cousin's graduation this year in Complex, and Principal Mohead said, I think they created like a junior cadet program within the police department, and I guess that does grab them. So
I'm aware of that.
So I think that's what you're talking about.
So the program exists, right? Joanne has run for Lieutenant Governor. Rani Mohead tooted that up and down, but like, let me talk data. Like, how effective is that? Is that program used to get individuals to become CSOs? Again, I am objectively having this conversation. Me gonna horse in this race, me gonna chicken in this fight, me gonna salt or no sugar for this red pea soup, right? So just having just
telling you, you say red pea soup, you gonna say chicken?
No, red pea soup. You just come here the other day.
You don't push sugar in your chicken?
Real Cruiser no eat red pea soup with sugar. Lad, he just come, you know. He just banned. Yeah. He just banned yesterday. Come on, friend. Come on.
I don't eat red pea soup. I never like red pea soup myself.
Oh God.
I never like red pea soup.
Just offend me. You never like red pea soup? Goodness. You don't like fungi either?
No. Wait.
Okay, let's push out the door with my one hand.
You know, like that fungi and that butter sauce. So can't get no.
Okay. But having the conversation openly. Right? Because I don't know. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say I don't know. Me, an expert. I don't know everything. But I also ain't dumb, and I'm also very solution oriented.
Don't ever say dumb.
You know what I mean?
No, I just gotta be like the elders, because you know that was the time you don't ever say dumb.
I just schooling you about red pea soup, and now you're trying to act like you're 60. Well, my goodness gracious. You know, you know about this every day at Port Authority.
We just got late in the tone.
What I look mean?
You stay there.
I take in the backseat here, as you say. I take in the backseat.
You driving the bus all of a sudden. But seriously.
Why listening? Go ahead.
Seriously, right? So, like, how, like, in my mind, I just always feel like more can be done. I don't think that communicating with the public and reassuring the public that VIPD doing their job is like rocket science. I don't think that's hard. No, you got some lad, I almost use an obscene word. You got some people that gonna just give VIPD a hard time just because they have show has and they have work has and then they have a next. A lot of the next exists.
The donkeys?
Yeah. So you got some people who just give police officers a hard time. But I just don't know. I just don't really know if VIPD. I'm not criticizing. I would like to position myself to be in a space to help them. I think that if given the tools, I think that I have enough influence to encourage people to join the police department, or at least some sort of law enforcement. I think that there is more good than bad. Some people probably just don't want to risk their life because, you know, once you swear in, you swear in to self and protect. So you know what you're also risking, right? Some people probably don't want to do that either. But, you know, again, it goes back to the conversation of crime and community and why you don't feel safe knocking on your neighbor door or you know, walking through your community. You know, I don't drive around the island. I don't just drive up all kind of random road. Because in my mind, I live here. You know, I'm going to explore. But some people even afraid to explore because you just don't know. You don't know when you're going to turn into the wrong entrance, and that may become problematic. And we have a lot of people that don't look like this, but look like this for the viewers on the live. And the people who look like this also aren't necessarily in support of this, right? They're anti this. So those far left, those individuals who move to our community but think that they run it, you know, our locals also are afraid of running into situations like that because they exist. You know, I know a lady who turned in the wrong yard, and that became very confrontational, and she posted it on social media, right? And what if that had went the next direction? That could have also that could have been way worse than what it was. It was bad, but it could have been way worse, right? It could have been final for her or him. You know, you just don't know what to expect. But we shouldn't be living in a community where we are afraid. I gonna drive every place. Don't have to run me out. Don't have to chase me. But I venture in. This is home. But I'm not afraid of. I ain't gonna be living in any community and be afraid.
Where do you guys see the territory in the next couple of years?
Before that, actually, if you don't mind,
Talk to us.
do you think government should play a greater part in the like government is typically associated with providing certain services, right? And enforcing structure, etc. Do you think that government should play a greater part in more of the, what's the word I'm looking for? More of like setting the tone when it comes to values and behavior and those things that are not tangible, if you see what I'm saying, things that don't have like a physical form. So we know that government provides certain services, but should, and maybe this is more of a question for us too, more of a hypothetical for you to think about. Maybe you don't deserve answers right now, but should our government be like a model or have a greater push for the type of community that we should live in? And I'll tell you why I asked this, and I probably mentioned it before, but it's just hard to ignore. Like, you think of like Zoran Mamdani, and he's just a mayor, but you look at what he's doing in New York, and it's like, dang, I gotta visit New York. Like, there's a joke of like people reaching out to Zoran because apparently he has like a team that like just constantly scrubs social media to see problems that's going on within New York, right? Or within the city. And people make a joke that like Mayor Mamdani, like, find me a husband, find me a wife, because there's just so much change that's happening, and he's like helping to like set a tone for his community. So do you guys think that should be more of a norm when it comes to how we view government and how we view politics? Or should that be more of an individual responsibility?
I think it could be an equal balance of both.
Yeah.
Do you think it is not happening now?
That's a bigger question to ask. You don't think you're set in the territory currently with the current leadership? Or leadership in general through your years of living experience?
Maybe it's a more generational thing. Maybe I don't see it because there's less of a focus on the younger generation in some ways, but it could be happening like differently, because right now I'm comparing it to the example that I just gave, right? So it's not that it's not necessarily happening now, maybe it's just happening in a different form.
So, story, to your point.
That's an ADHD kicking in. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna think because it ties into a point. So, story. My father told my grandmother as well. Governor King, when he was governor, he was walking through Ralph Dishabot, engaging with the people, engaging with the community, and he stopped by my father's door, my family's door, and my grandmother was cooking, and and my father told me the governor came in, sat with them, ate with them, conversated with them, and that was a converse. My bad, I conversed with them, and that was a story that my father told me that it resonated with me. So I think that ties into a point that it has happened before. I just think, like Shamari said, it could be an equal balance of both. We could have a model set in place, and it ties into the leadership that we have. What do you think? It happened before. Who say it can happen again? Shamari is such a culture bearer, somebody, and we never know.
You don't have to be a culture bearer.
No, not a culture bearer. You're such a.
There have been instances where Governor Bryan walked through Christiansted Town, walked through Frederiksted Town, hang out at the local bars. There was a picture that went viral with him just sitting on the steps outside a government house in his first term. So, I don't think that leadership is so far removed from the community. I don't think the job of our governor also is busy as hell, right? And I think that's why it's important to have good administrators who administrator acts as your mayor. Administrator is your mayor. I think it's good to have good administrators who gonna hit the ground and be out in the streets and within those communities. But
what is an administrator for those who don't know?
Administrator is your mayor.
That's what your administrator is.
Your administrator
what
is.
What does a mayor do?
You tell me.
I asking you.
Your administrator is your mayor. That's your. So, in my opinion, right now how government is structured, each island have 3 administrators. They're responsible for. I know one of their roles, duties is to clean up like derelict cars and stuff like that in the street. And so that's your go-to person. If you have a problem in your community, you don't go to the administrator. That's the problem solver. You don't have to escalate up to the governor. You go to the administrator. I think that in relative to specifically to St. Croix, I think St. Croix needs 2 administrators. I think we need a Christiansted and a Frederiksted administrator. That has happened in the past before. That wouldn't be anything new.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Go to government house. We need in the foyer and the ballroom. East of the ballroom, there is a mahogany plaque with every single person who served as administrator since the time.
That's so dope.
Since government. Yeah. So you'll be surprised who are among us who have been administrators before, Christiansted, Frederiksted, or just the island. I think that's incredible that Christiansted and a Frederiksted administrator because the problems that residents and business owners face in Christiansted differ in some cases from those in Frederiksted. So whereas in Christiansted, you have often heard business owners talk about sewage in the streets and blah, 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 blah. In Frederiksted, you don't necessarily hear anybody talking about sewage in the streets per se, but obviously there is a need for I guess more of a police presence. You would say more lighting in the town, using these as examples. But again, I use those as examples to say that the problems in each town differs. So I think we'll be able to cover more ground if we have 2 administrators, right? But in administrators who can be on the ground, who are accessible, is important. But much of the administrators' success will be because of commissioners. So you may call the administrator and tell the administrator the sidewalk in your local community is overgrown with bush. People exercising a man in, didn't get a bush cut. The administrator would then call the commissioner of public works, and then the commissioner of public works would either deploy staff or contractors or whatever, right? What happens if your public works commissioner just don't respect the administrator and is like, well, to hell with you? Then the administrator can't get a job done, right? So the administrator have their own staff, and you have people who work in government house out of the administrator's office. It's not necessarily a big staff. Sometimes it's a small staff, but again, like, visibility is important. I need you to I gotta give you a little more government insight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you have the administrator plays a very important role to the success of any administration, any governor. The Governor Bryan, not too long ago, maybe a year ago, it feels like a year ago, also appointed an administrator for the island, for Water Island, right? So you have 4 administrators. Well, 3 now. Senator Avery Lewis was the administrator for St. Thomas Water Island. The Deputy Chief of Staff, Cameron Rodriguez, is a Deputy Chief of Staff, but he also takes lead or acts as the administrator for St. Thomas. And then we have administrator for Water Island, one in St. John, and then Samosan is in St. Croix. So, some people may be like, oh, well, the role isn't needed or necessary, but that person plays a very important role. Your administrator, and I think that's one of the things that work in the campaign for Senator Avery Lewis, right? So prior to him being a senator, if something happened,
you go to
he's at the scene. You don't have to go to him. If Senator Lewis,
and that's still the case today.
That's still the case
yes.
today.
He done everything. You don't miss nothing, and I love that, right?
Wow.
So when now asking the public for the vote of confidence in him being a senator, the public was already aware that he been doing the work. You know, so check out the foyer in Government House. I think that you would absolutely love.
You know, I will love it how again.
And you should actually know that. I shocked that you don't know.
No,
that.
I didn't know. I only know. I know Senator Sarah Father was administrator under Governor King. Former Lieutenant Governor Francis was administrator under Governor Turnbull, and the current administrator, right now is Samuel Stanis. I didn't know that. That's interesting to know.
Yeah, you have people who serve on boards and in various government capacities who were administrator. Barbara Peterson was the administrator for St. Thomas under John DeYoung.
Oh wow.
Leona Smith, who works at tourism as the assistant director for festivals in St. John, she was the administrator as well. I don't recall.
Under Governor DeYoung?
I don't recall what administration. Yeah, but you if you check it out, you'll see.
I love that.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember if I don't think that's the plaque has St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. For some reason, I only remember St. Croix. But again, this is easy information to find. You just do a quick Google search if you need assistance.
And cool thing again, guys, if some of you guys didn't know, every governor that we've had so far has worked under a previous administration. Just so if you didn't know, it's very cool.
You want to dive into that?
Huh? I could, but I wouldn't. I could, but I wouldn't. Every governor has served in each governor's administration. Governor DeYoung was the youngest commissioner of finance under Governor Farrelly.
Correct.
Then you have Governor Turnbull. He served as commissioner of education under Governor Louis.
Correct.
You have Governor Snyder. He served as commissioner of health under Governor Louis as well. And then you have Governor Mapp. He served as Director of Public Finance Authority under Governor Turnbull, and he was also Lieutenant Governor under Governor Snyder. You have Governor Bryan. Governor Bryan served as Commissioner of Labor under Governor DeYoung. And then you have...
Whoa there. Hold your horse. Hold your horse. The general election is not until November 3rd. But you're correct. That's one of the things I love about you. You so into and I love it because a lot of times I'm usually the only one. So being in a space with somebody who knows just as much make me feel good.
But I love being around Shamari.
Teacher information though.
I love Shamari because Shamari will teach me so much more.
Yeah.
He teach me so much more. I didn't know. I know the basics. I know the bit. I know a good bit.
And if you're listening to the conversation, right, and you want to get some insight, check out, go on YouTube. I feel like I always talk about YouTube.
The governors.
I love WTJ.
I have told Neff about
I don't
this.
binge watch that
stuff. I thought they were only me. I love that.
Watch it time and time again.
I can't wait for any of the rest to drop.
You realize, I always talk about how the current administration reminds me so much of the Turnbull administration. They were building schools and dealing with tourism stuff and dealing with education challenges and just so many things. Like history will repeat itself. And I think because history repeats itself, and we have people in leadership who were working in government under those previous administrations, they're able to better navigate recovery. Although recovery also looks different, right? So, FEMA, recovery or support from FEMA under Barack Obama and Joe Biden definitely looks different under President Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But we're able to navigate those spaces because we have people who have the experiences and know-how. So
that's why continuity is important.
That's why we need young people in these spaces. That's why generational representation is so paramount to moving the territory forward. If you're old and you want to keep and you want to stay in your silo and keep it to yourself, what gonna happen when hard time hit and then you're on there wrong and the young people running around trying to figure it out? It is important. There's a slew of people that are preparing to retire in December. If you know you're going home, do not go home with the information. Share it. If you genuinely support your department or support the work that you're doing and you really want to see things move forward, share the information. I promise you your legacy will be taken care of.
But even us having this conversation, right, about the governor's documentary and the state of the territory, it was the governor's documentary even opened my eyes. Like, even when we think we have it bad, we're like, what? This administration we're going through something a little bit worse. Like, you hear Governor Turnbull administration was able to knock off the debt that we owed to the federal government for Hurricane Marilyn.
And then Governor Albert
Bryan.
Knock off the debt out to WAPA.
Yeah, knock off the debt out to WAPA. It just makes you think that
Save GRS.
He saved GRS. He saved GRS.
You sitting on that like a prophet?
I soak in right now.
Hearing Governor Turnbull was able to knock off the debt that we got to Hurricane Marilyn. That was a major feat for his administration, and also with with the creation of let me not say the creation of EDA, because those companies were already in place, the division was already in place, but forming all those companies together to create the EDA that was our next major fleet as well, able to support small businesses, and EDA does a lot of great work alongside our brother who and the Department of Tourism team, who is doing exceptional work.
Shout out to Trifadi Comics. Keep going.
So it's like those documentaries, I just love them because I just learn so much. It's like so much you don't learn.
No, shout out 340 for real.
Yeah, big up 340 and the work they doing. Isaac Hayes, I didn't even know that was so random to the Coach podcast as well, because the Coach podcast is who sparked the conversation. Singer Isaac Hayes, I didn't know that he bought Lorraine Village. That was so dope.
He invested.
He invested. Thank you so much. I appreciate you always for
that.
He invested into it. That was so dope. Like,
what was interesting from when I see that that Isaac Hayes post, and like they had like the price for the 2-bedroom, the 3-bedroom, and the 4-bedroom. A 2-bedroom was like $131 or something.
I think you calculate that today. You do the inflation calculate. That's 1,500 and change today.
It'll come up to around what the prices are today. I was not expecting that. Because you know why I did it, right?
Why?
I see a 131, I was like, yeah, I'm going to see what it costs there, because I just know my grandparents and my parents were paying, like, I don't know, $500.
But you have to also remember that
and our money today.
They weren't making nothing close to what we're making now. Shani, I don't remember Shani's last name, but you guys know content creator
yes.
Shani. Yes. I want to use a different last name, but it'll be a different person.
It's something with a W, I think, no?
But Shani,
let's not try, guys.
Let's not get it wrong.
Shani posted a clip. I think her grandfather or great grandfather or something was the commissioner of public works or something like that, or property and procurement or something like that. And they listed all of the government salaries, right? And people really and truly, they weren't making nothing. A commissioner salary were like
like
5,000.
But guys,
like it really wasn't.
You think about much. I just think about we thinking, right? I would have loved for the to been alive back then, cause right. We thinking.
Shani last name is I will pronounce it right. But I think it's DeWitt.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We thinking, right? Yeah. We thinking like that like this race that we have our big horse race, but imagine being alive and seeing the first gubernatorial race with Melvin Evans, Cyril King, and Alexander Farrell. Them three big political has just vying to be the first elected governor. I know that just had to be crazy.
So I just pull up the the same thing I was referencing. So the Public Works Commissioner were making $11,000, right? But you had government employees that were making like $3,600. A maintenance mechanic were making $3,600.
3,000.
Yes.
Calculate that to.
You have a park attendant who are working under education making $2,400.
And this one, what year?
This is 1962. So in October 1962, there was a list of unclassified employees in government service. And it's also interesting too, right? So, so you had like you get to see how government also break up from this, right? So you had health, public works, commerce, which eventually turned into something else. You had the board of elections, you had education, public safety, finance, agriculture, and labor. You had government secretary, you had property and procurement, and then that's all I see listed here. But then
government
since then,
secretary.
so many other agencies came about. You got PFA, you got like
you got
so much.
You got to tell the people it's the government secretary now.
What, remind me?
That's the lieutenant governor.
Oh yes. Correct. You see this? I just Chris, you know just do it all the time.
You know what's 3,600 in a year? Like 12. That's $300 a month.
Wow.
Right? And 2 bedrooms was 131. So I said, grandpa, maybe you should have it.
Maybe you had it good enough.
I got to rent.
Maybe we had it hard enough.
Which we laughing about it now, but think about how many people don't have to decide, like when they get paid, right? Sometimes your whole paycheck going to cover half your rent, right? Depends on how much money you make in. It's still very realistic and true for a lot of people.
But you know, laughing too, right? I was trying half of that they're going to rent and then imagine groceries and so now.
Grandma, I love you, a lot of mercy.
And some of them making 16 and 17 and
Wow.
18. Picky nigga. Yeah, exaggerating. I just don't know how they're doing it.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow.
Me know they make ends meet.
What they say back in the day, they have to go through hill and valley and climb
bush
through
and
snow and
the river
to get to school.
You have to climb this canop tree, you have to climb that mango
Which
tree.
is so very much also the reality of our
All
friends
while
in
we
St.
there and
John.
they back. You know what? I sorry, Grandma. I sorry, Grandpa. You have some validity to
imagine
what you went through.
No,
and I'm so grateful.
It's just so cool to see how government changed during the years. So like, it's so I just love it. I also like, I don't think we understand how much I love history. Like, I love history. History has always been my favorite subject.
And we're
growing
going
up.
to experience it. History made again.
Like I said again, people 3 times we're going to experience history 3 times.
Providing that the
Providing,
Democratic
yes,
nominee
reigns
successful and will in the general election November 3rd.
Put a hand there. I was expecting to see
Roxanne. You thinking about it, right? You're gonna even sit on her side as well. You're gonna sit on the lieutenant governor's side as well.
I'm a Democrat, so you know I roll in with a Democratic ticket.
You're gonna sit on the lieutenant governor's side as well too. I don't even think people thought about that. He's the first Senate president to be lieutenant governor.
There'll also be
this first time 2 brothers.
Dynasty.
Yeah. One lieutenant governor.
Action.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we transitioning into closing for the evening. We're gonna wrap up with a few bills, and then we're gonna come back up to wrap up tonight's wonderful discussion. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. This is 101.3 Raw FM, the 340 Exchange.
To visit Caravel Casino every day of the week. Sundays, start your day with our $2,500 early bird drawings from noon until 4 p.m. We're giving away $500 every hour, plus free slot play for Rewards Club members. Mondays, if you're 50 or better, enjoy $10 in free slot play. Tuesdays and Saturdays, Reward Club members receive tier-based free slot play bonuses. prices, while Wednesdays and Thursdays keep the excitement going with even more free slot play offers. Then, every Friday night, it's our $2,500 progressive drawings. Join us from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. for 4 chances to win $500 cash with unclaimed prizes rolling into the final drawing of the night. Plus, new members receive $25 in free slot play, and Rewards Club members can celebrate their birthday with special birthday free play. Visit Caravel Casino this August, where every day brings another chance to win.
The Porican them coming. The Porican them coming. Arrow Pojo. The Porican them coming.
Baila, baila, baila conmigo.
Yes, the Puerto Ricans, them, they are coming. It's Rumble in Paradise Part 3. 3 days you won't want to miss. Friday, test and tune. Saturday and Sunday, eliminations and finals. $20 get you in. It's drag racing at the Synchron Motorsports Complex. This is Rumble in Paradise Part 3. Synchron versus Puerto Rico. 3 days of the biggest, baddest, and fastest race cars. Wait a minute, the Puerto Ricans, them say, they're coming for the fastest motorbike them too. Huh?
You serious?
Virgin Islands. Don't you miss the biggest drag racing event of the year. Rumble in Paradise Part 3. Remember the dates, August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Yes, August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Gates open from 4 p.m. sharp.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Are you tired of the same old auto insurance? Well, guess what?
You got options. Keswick Insurance, we are the top one. Baby, it's easy, no problem. To get a free around line now. You got options. Keswick Insurance, we are the top one.
Keswick has auto insurance for Virgin Islands living. Give us a call at 340-714-8100 or visit keswickinsurance.com.
To get a free around line now.
I miss enough of them haunted. Sweet reggae music can't dead. Looking at me eye and you will see some man a seed where the music planted. Don't know? Pressure bus pipe. Keep it locked to 101.3 Raw FM. Keep the fire burning. Ja Rastafari.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers, commentators, and experts and or hosts. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the views held by the broadcaster. The broadcaster cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program. 101.3 Raw FM, WEVI.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and getting ready to close. You know, the historians went in the bag, in the Balkan for a minute. Just talking about the...
In the what?
Birkin?
Oh, you fancy.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you prefer another brand? Wow.
No. Keep spitting. You might give me something a little more.
Coach Steve Madden?
I'm a Coach lover, but keep going.
Okay. You know? And I was just so quiet personally because we've had these conversations before, and I've heard some of the history that they have shared today, but my short-term memory ain't too good. So to just sit down and just hear about all the... To me, it just sounded like accomplishments, and it made me feel good because in my head, listening to it all is like, we have the ability to do things here.
Well, Virgin Islands, we have a lot to also be proud of, you know. Accomplishments and people.
Right.
We have a lot to be proud of.
Remember, I said that people is our greatest resource.
Yeah.
They are.
You did. I
Past,
agree.
present, and future.
I agree. Okay.
I brimming with joy.
You got
the silence was me brimming with joy.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to me, man. We such a special people.
Nef, pop quiz. How much lieutenant governors have we had so far?
Why would you do that?
I just gotta keep you on your toes. We gotta bring up to speed. How much lieutenant governors you had so far?
Close out this show, please.
I could redirect. I could phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
I could phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Do not.
Shamari, what's your number?
Close out the show.
But ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know, we gotta here today enjoy. We got out here today in excellence.
Great.
We got out here today in grandiosity.
He didn't wear the cross.
You cool out now?
You going to that church too long? Let me find out. I gotta talk to the pastor. Enoch King, right?
Listen,
that's
yes,
the pastor?
Yes.
Shout out to the pastor.
Yes. Yes. Pastor King, I love you. We love you.
To be around
Pastor
brotherhood.
Roberts, I love you. We love you.
To be around brotherhood, to be around each other, creating a brotherhood, building on loyalty, love, genuine relationships. It's something great. You know, you don't see this many times within our community. Everyone coming at each other's throat, but we have managed to build something that nobody could break up this band. Nobody could break up this band, you know. We've been through the highs. We've been through the lows. We still have more to go through together, but I know once we get each other, we're going to always overcome, you know.
You looking at me, you need reassurance?
No. I just like
reassurance.
I have proven time and time again.
We don't. I don't need a reassurance from you because you have proven it.
But true.
You have. Oh, drop the mic.
Okay.
If you could have dropped the mic, you would have.
Okay, Stevie Wonder.
Proven true.
Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
I wait till I had a shot of practice show. Now all of a sudden you wake up.
But no, for real, guys, we always appreciate being here with you.
Thank you to listening.
Thank you to listen. Always big up Halima, big up Bro for creating this opportunity for us, giving us this part. We big up Shamaria as well. Being an awesome mentor for us. Myself and Mo, we always say the two of us alone, I don't think we could have accomplished what we have accomplished so far, especially venturing into the political realm so young and so early, but having a mentor that loves us, who guides us, who does
I just a little razzle dazzle in this soup. You remember I mentioned
use the salt and sugar in the red
peas.
I remember I was just talking about sugar in the red peas.
Yeah, use the sugar in the red peas. They're bringing together.
I don't know.
You don't put bay leaf in your red pea soup?
That little bit.
Drop a little bay leaf in.
You know, if we're talking red pea soup for true,
I don't like red pea soup, guys.
My aunt used to make the baddest red pea soup and St. Croix.
I love me some soup, you know.
Baddest. Shout out to Margarita.
Forget the heat. Soup time is anytime.
That's my great aunt. The best in the West couldn't test a maga red pea soup.
My grandmother was one of the best cooks in the island.
Oh God! You don't even know what's good food. You just come here yesterday.
I could tell you what's good.
What's good food? You don't know soup.
No, that's red pea soup. But I love. Give me a fish, and he knew you will give me anything else. That's
you
what,
going to buy them chicken soup from them there.
Wait, you remember to crack the joke about the saltfish? And then you tell me what?
You know, no. We ain't going there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our.
Wait, guys, no. Me like that. Let me go joke.
No. You're not going to do me this. Y'all are not going to do me this. Maybe another day, not tonight. Y'all not going to do me this, not on the air.
Hey, somebody said, right? Somebody just said sugar in the red pea soup is a wireless example I could have used.
You see exactly.
Listen, we are closing on a great note. We
was a great episode.
Down the path that I want to venture. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
we love Ayo. We love Ayo, bud.
Thank you for listening in. Thank you for being here with us. Don't forget, voters registration ends October 4th.
It's happening all now.
Don't forget, Shamari I. Haynes.
Elections.
We should do a trivia. What do I stand for?
You want to
You asking them or you asking we?
You know what? Me now. Me ask people at next show.
If they figure it out, what they get?
I'll decide by next week.
Okay.
I'll decide by then.
I holding you accountable for them.
It is very easy. So I shouldn't even give them nothing. Right? Easy to find if he was really my friend. But you know when we come back here next week too, I'll have a number.
Yes.
So you know. So I'll tell you what number I am. But I am asking for your vote and support in the November 3rd general election. I am the youngest on the ballot running for the board of elections. I'm asking for your support. I'm also encouraging you to join the movement now is our time, right? So I will, as we continue to have these conversations leading up to the general election, of course, we'll talk some more about my campaign and, different things, right? So we've been having some light conversations.
Good sugar.
Last week we talked culture. Tonight we talk everything else and a little culture. But as we lead up to the general election, which is 77 days away, you guys gonna be hearing more, and maybe we might have some special guests in the studio, right? So again, if you see me out, challenge me, ask your questions, get engaged. Don't be afraid. And if you're waiting for Simply Sophisticated Fun Troop to drop these costumes, just wait a little bit longer. They come in later.
Also
Greater. I cooking up something and they come in. I just got the priorities.
You cooking a little bit of piece of the sugar?
No, I making some mafe.
What? Watch it, Watch it,
yourself for when these things drop. If you're holding on to your deposit, don't spend it, don't bet it. And if you're betting it, bet that I gonna win for the general election. For the border elections. But seriously, we coming. I'm getting phone calls, people running me down, people posting statuses on Facebook, want to know what taking simply so long to show up to the party.
People even pressing me up on my own band. Somebody even asked me who it be me or Shamari.
When we reach,
we coming.
You're gonna know we reach. Later is greater. Come in.
And with that being said, guys, we love Ayo Bad. This is the 340 Exchange team, the Vital team, the Forward team, everything under the sun. Have a great week. Be safe. Don't let nobody stress out. We love Ayo.
Fellow Virgin Islanders, I'm Gage Edmonds, your independent candidate for the Senate, seeking